So I'm here with my Airbnb guest Zachary, and he has volunteered to make a latte for me. And he has his own gear he brought in, and we'll follow him to see what he does.
So you take your beans. You can use any kind of bean you want pretty much. I use like dark medium. And then you want to weigh your beans, which is important for the chamber. Because
Why is that important?
so it's going to be important so you don't put too much coffee beans in the brewing chamber, because if it's too much, you will kind of oversaturate the chamber and you won't get a good extraction. And if it's too little, you're going to get an under extraction. It's going to go through way too quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes like you want to make sure nothing is in ounces. You want like grams.
Yeah. You said how many grams?
So for this chamber, I think you can get anywhere between like 17 to 20 something. I'd say like 23, 24 grams.
Mm-hmm.
With certain beans, I've experienced like if you put the same grammage in, like say if you have like a light roast or a dark roast, the beans will expand. So you want to be really careful if you put like a light roast at 20 grams versus a dark roast at 20 grams.
Okay.
You'll have more volume at a lighter roast than a darker roast. So if you like a strong, for you I did about 21.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like super perfect. And then you can do a manual grinder or electric grinder. I don't have the money for the really nice one, but you get really good results. So you can make like anything from French press coffee, Turkish coffee. Like it goes all the way down to Turkish coffee, which is the finest powder, finest grain size.
And how do you know when it's done?
You'll hear it. Like
Okay.
you'll just feel no resistance. The
Okay.
resistance won't be there. I'd say maybe a little bit longer should be done. You hear the noise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a burr grinder. It's not like a blade. A burr. Do you know what a burr is?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what that is. There's like conical. There's burr. I smack it because a lot of it gets clumped up in the grinder.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing people will do is when they start getting the brewing chamber, I forget what those are called technically, but they call it the I don't know. But when you're putting it in, you want to make sure you see how all there's like little cobs.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure you break those up so you have even distribution of temperature, water, pressure, so it doesn't get under extracted.
Mm-hmm.
And I take a little hair bobby pin because they have ones that cost a lot of money, so I don't do that, and I just break them all up as much as I can. This will just help ensure, like I said, everything's broken up. You see how different it looks?
Yeah.
Obviously when you pour it out, it's gonna start breaking up, but and I kind of smack it a couple times. That. And once it's in there, this is called a tamp.
Mm-hmm.
A tamp pushes everything down. You want to make sure everything's dry too, so nothing clogs, sticks. Push it down like a little bit, take it off, and then you can do your final tamp. You want to make sure it's even. I'm not very good at it, but some people are really good. They actually have ones that are leveling, and they do the right amount of pressure. So I think that's pretty good. take it off. And that's called your puck.
Yeah.
Your puck will be kind of like where your puck kind of tells you if you did everything right. And this is kind of a cover to help distribute the water.
Yep.
Because you're gonna put between 8 and 10 bar of pressure.
Okay.
Put that there. And this is where you store the water, and you want to make sure you preheat it because you want to make sure you get it as hot as possible. So they have these like temperature selections. You want to make sure you hit coffee. You don't want it too hot or too cool. If it's too hot, will burn the coffee.
Yeah.
If it's too cool, you won't extract the coffee perfectly.
So this is 200 degrees, you said?
Yeah, this like they have ones that are like the little boiler ones. You just click on it and it boils it. You don't want that because it can make it really hot and you can scorch the coffee.
Yeah.
That's like boil black, but I don't do that. And you just let it sit there. You just want to preheat you want to kind of like equidistant so you don't have any, because temperature is, water will, all these chemistry words I forget, transfer heat. So you want to make sure it's equal temperature inside and outside, so there's no heat distribution loss. You let that wait. Oh, and then you can also get this ready. This is like a Breville. So you can get like cappuccino, which makes it really foamy. And then you have like this machine hookup that makes it more latte, so you can do latte only.
Okay.
You only fill it up to where the cup is. And then there's a temperature selecting, so you can make it either cold or hot. This is the recommended. I just play with it.
Right.
And you wait, and then this should be done. Dump this out. So this thing is pretty hot, obviously. And then a cup. Do you have a cup you want to use?
Yeah.
You can obviously pre-do this just to save time. And then you want to use, where did I put it? This is kind of how you view your pressure. If you have way too much, you can bust this thing open because you have so much pressure in that chamber.
Right.
So you want to keep it right between like 8 and 10 bar to get best extraction.
Okay.
So everything's in. You pop that bad boy on, and you want to pre-infuse, which is you don't want to use too much pressure. Pre-infusion just introduces the water to the beans, and you'll start to see it. That's pre-infusion, and then you can start cranking it up.
Yeah.
And then you see how I'm maintaining kind of like a certain temperature? I mean pressure?
Pressure, yeah.
So you want to maintain that. And then they call that stuff on the top, I'm sure you know, crema. And so sometimes people don't get that if you don't have a good, you're not doing things properly. It can just look all black, sludgy. And so by the time that's done, this should possibly be done. I mean, this will be done soon.
Yeah.
But they also have some pretty cool ones as well. You can do that by hand, but that just takes care of everything for you. Yeah, that's the espresso part. And then that should be your...
Okay. Looks good.
And then that should be done. And there are people who are so good at this. Like you can do it for sure, but you just add.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's your espresso.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Jarrah Stopper.